Mahomedali Jinnah, a Muslim politician, was Pakistan's first Governor-General and President of its founding assembly. Who was Jinnah? Mahomedali Jinnah joined the INC in 1906. 7 years later, he joined the INL. On August 14, 1947, Jinnah's dream of an independent Pakistan became reality. The next day he became Pakistan's first Governor-General. He died on September 11, 1948, near Karachi. Early life. A leased flat on the second floor of Wazir Mansion in Karachi, Pakistan, then India. Jinnah's birth name was Mahomedali Jinnahbhai. Jinnah, the oldest of his parents' 7 children, was born underweight and frail. But Jinnah's mother, Mithibai, was certain her fragile child would reach greatness. Jinnah's father, Jinnahbhai Poonja, traded cotton, wool, grain, and other things. The family was Khoja Muslim. Jinnah was 6 when his father enrolled him at Sindh Madrasatul Islam. Jinnah was a poor student. He preferred playing outdoors with his pals over studying. Although Jinnah's father had a successful commerce firm, maths was one of Jinnah's least favorite subjects. Jinnah was about 11 when his lone paternal aunt from Bombay came to visit. Jinnah adored his aunt. In her opinion, Bombay would offer Jinnah with a better education than Karachi. Then Jinnah went to Bombay with his aunt, who enrolled him at the Gopal Das Day's primary school. Despite the change in environment, Jinnah remained a rambunctious student. He was transported back to Karachi after 6 months. Jinnah was dismissed from Sindh Madrasa for skipping school to go horseback riding. To help him focus on his academics, Jinnah's parents enrolled him at the Christian Missionary Society High School. Sir Frederick Lee Croft, his father's business partner, inspired Jinnah as an adolescent. When Croft offered Jinnah an internship in London, he delighted at the prospect, but his mother wasn't so keen. Fearing being separated from her son, she forced him to marry before he left. She probably thought marrying him would assure his return. In February 1892, Jinnah, 15, married Amy Bai, 14, at his mother's persuasion. Amy Bai was from Paneli, India, and the wedding was there. Jinnah attended the Christian Missionary Society High School till he moved for London. In January 1893, he left Karachi. Jinnah would never see his mother or wife. Amy Bai died shortly after Jinnah left. Sadly, Jinnah's mother, Mithibai, died in London. Attorney. Jinnah hired a hotel room in London after disembarking at Southampton. He would finally settle at the Kensington house of Mrs. F. E. Page Drake, who had welcomed him as a visitor. Then in June 1893, Jinnah joined Lincoln's Inn, a famous legal society that assisted law students prepare for the bar. Jinnah studied biographies and political materials for the bar test for many years, borrowing them from the British Museum Library. Jinnah learned of his wife and mother's deaths while studying for the bar, but he kept going. Aside from his academic studies, Jinnah made regular trips to the House of Commons to see the strong British administration in action. Jinnah was the youngest ever admitted to the bar when he passed his test in May 1896. In August 1896, Jinnah travelled to Bombay to practice law as a lawyer in the Bombay High Court. Jinnah remained a barrister till the mid-1940s. Among his most notable victories as a lawyer were the 1925 Bawla murder trial and the 1945 defense of Bashain Lal in Agra, which was Jinnah's last case. Statesman. Jinnah had become interested in politics during his trips to the House of Commons, finding it more glamorous than law. Jinnah, now in Bombay, entered politics as a liberal nationalist. When Jinnah's father joined him, he was enraged by his son's choice to change careers and withdrew financial assistance. When Jinnah's father died in April 1902, the two had made amends. Jinnah was especially concerned about India's lack of representation in the British Parliament. Dadar Bhai Nauroji, the first Indian elected to the House of Commons, influenced him. Jinnah joined the Indian National Congress in 1904. He entered the Congress in 1906. After attending an All India Muslim League meeting in 1912, Jinnah joined the League the next year. Jinnah would eventually join the Home Rule League, a group committed to promoting state autonomy. During his political career, Jinnah met Ratnabhai, a 16-year-old girl from Darjeeling. On April 19, 1918, Rutti became 18 and converted to Islam. In 1919, Rutti gave birth to Jinnah's sole child, a daughter called Dinah. Before joining Congress, Jinnah worked with Hindu leaders as their ambassador of Hindu-Muslim unity, while also working with the Muslim League. Gradually, Jinnah learned that the Hindu leaders of Congress had opposing political agendas. Previously, he had sided with their opposition to separate electorates for Muslims and Hindus. In 1926, Jinnah changed his mind and supported separate electorates. Overall, he believed an unified India might guarantee Muslim liberties. Jinnah quit Congress at that point to focus on the Muslim League. Jinnah's hectic political career had strained his marriage by 1928. His second wife left him. From then until her death on her 29th birthday, Rutti resided alone in the Taj Mahal Hotel in Bombay. In the 1930s, Jinnah headed the All India Muslim League restructuring and attended the Anglo-Indian Roundtable conferences. A Pakistani state. By 1939, Jinnah believed in an Indian Muslim country. So long as Muslims' political interests were protected, he was convinced. His previous ideal of Hindu-Muslim unification no longer looked feasible. Jinnah suggested partitioning India and establishing Pakistan during a Muslim League meeting in Lahore in 1940. Jinnah was bothered by Mohandas Gandhi's position at the 1939 London Round Table Conference and the Muslim League. To Jinnah's dismay, the Muslim League was about to merge with the National League, allowing it to run in provincial elections and perhaps concede to a unified India ruled by Hindus. To Jinnah's relief, the Muslim League accepted the Pakistan Resolution in 1942. 4 years later, Britain dispatched a ministerial mission to India to draft a constitution. India was then split into 3 parts. The first was India's Hindu majority. The second was a Muslim region in the northwest, Pakistan. It had a Muslim predominance in Bengal and Assam. After a decade, provinces might opt out of forming a new federation. But when the Congress president objected to the scheme, Jinnah voted no. On August 14, 1947, Jinnah's dream of an independent Pakistan became reality. The next day, Jinnah became Pakistan's first Governor-General. He also served as President of Pakistan's Constituent Assembly. Life and death. On September 11, 1948, Jinnah died of TB in Karachi, Pakistan, where he was born. Jinnah is credited for changing the fate of Muslims in India. A guy who contributed more than any other man to Pakistan's survival, says Richard Simmons. He aspired to establish social justice, fraternity, and equality via his slogan of faith, unity, and discipline. Jinnah's successors were faced with consolidating the country Jinnah had so steadfastly constructed.